Hello, this is John Lewis with washerdryrepairhelp.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to test and replace your transmission in your Whirlpool washing machine. This would include all direct drive washers like KitchenAid, Estate, Roper, Kenmore, those type brands. But first off, I'm going to show you a video. This is a washing machine that I brought into my garage that just had a really funky sound, and yeah, we're gonna take a listen and see what it sounds like first. As you can see, it has a really annoying sound. By just hearing that, we know that the sound is somewhere in the drive system, and so we want to, in this video, I'm going to show you how to isolate your motor and transmission so that you can really pinpoint where the sound's coming from. So here we go. And if you are an appliance professional, you probably can tell just by the sound, you know exactly what it is. But if you are a newbie, you probably won't. So that's who this video is for. So here we go. So what I'm doing here is we're going to isolate the motor and transmission just like this. We're going to remove it from the machine so that way we can listen just to the transmission, the motor, and the motor coupling here and see where the noise is coming from. And if we aren't getting noise from here, it's somewhere up downstream. So it could be your basket drive or whatnot. So anyways, but today we're focusing on the transmission. So here we go. First thing we're going to do to remove your transmission from a Whirlpool washer is remove the detergent dispenser here. Just pulls right out. And then we're going to remove the dust cap right here. And then you'll find a 7/16 bolt that has to be removed. You're going to need a long extension and your 7/16 socket, and then you could just loosen it and remove it right out. You're probably going to have to hold your hand on the bottom of the agitator, or the agitator will spin while you're trying to loosen it. So that's good things to know. And once you get this 7/16 bolt all the way out, you can pop this agitator right up. It just pulls. Just grab it from the bottom and pulls straight up, and you'll find a little plastic piece and a metal piece that's located right on top of your transmission shaft, and you want to pull both those off. Otherwise, when we turn this washer on its back and we pull the transmission out, those two pieces will fall in your basket and get it kind of greasy and stuff, so we don't want that to happen. So anyways, do that. I don't have pictures of it, but you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as you take your agitator off. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the washing machine on its back, and to remove the transmission, you don't necessarily have to take the cabinet apart. We're going to take the cabinet apart for this test, but if you know for sure that your transmission is the issue, or your motor, you don't have to access those. You don't have to open up the cabinet to access them. So first thing we're going to do is remove the pump, and there are two brackets that hold this pump onto the motor. They pop off. You can stick your thumb on right here and on this one and just pop them out, and then these brackets twist and come out from this motor hole right here, the hole that goes in this motor. And this is the picture after I move the pump. We're going to keep the hoses and everything on this pump. We're just moving it off this side. Pull straight up after you remove those two brackets. This bracket's still in the motor. To remove that, like I say, just twist and pull it up, and it comes straight out. Before we go to the next picture, this is your wiring harness. I forgot that word, but anyways, you use your thumb to pop this up and then pull the harness out. It just pops in and out, pretty easy. Pull it up, pull it out. You might have to wiggle a little bit to get out, but we got to remove that to get the transmission out. The next thing we have, so then after that's removed, there's a wire. These are the wiring harness, and it hooks to your transmission, and what we got to do is remove it from the transmission, so that's not in the way. And on the next picture you'll see, but there's this little plastic piece that holds it in. You're going to use one hand to squeeze the top and then pull down this way, and then it pulls right out. And you can see in this picture, this is the part you'll be pulling or squeezing, and then you pull here. And then we have that removed. Once that's removed, you have 3 1/2-inch bolts that need to be removed. Use caution, because sometimes after you get this removed, your motor and transmission will twist one way or the other, and just keep your hands on the motor and transmission, because this motor right here makes it so it's kind of lopsided. The weight can spin either way. Just carefully remove those, keep your hand on there, and once these 3 bolts are removed, you are free to take the transmission out. And so here's the transmission. And then once the transmission's out, we're going to place the washer back on its feet, and we're going to I'm going to show you how to get the wiring harness out through here and stuff. But here's this video. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here to test it, so it's isolated from the machine. So here, take a listen. First thing we have is the lid switch is connected, so that when we put it in spin cycle, it's going to work. And then we go, and the machine is plugged in. We're being very cautious not to shock ourselves here. But once we put it in spin cycle, and you can do this in agitation also, we just have to fill up the tub with water. You can hear that transmission clicking. And so we know just by looking at this that it's the transmission, or hearing it. It could also be the coupling in here, and I'm going to show you how to test that and look at that. Usually you can just look at it from in here and you could see that it's broken, but I'll show you how to take it apart here in a second. But in order to get that back off, so we can run that wiring harness to your motor and transmission, we have to remove the control panel. Have to get back in there to pop some clips to get that back off. And right here I'm going to show you 3 different types of Whirlpool model. This is a Maytag. After 2006, Whirlpool took them over, so now it's basically a Whirlpool washer and a Maytag body. But Whirlpool has washers that, to remove the control panel, you have to use the putty knife. So we'll slide a putty knife right about in here on both sides, and you'll fill the clips in there. Once those clips are disengaged, you can pop open the control panel. And there are other ones that have screws on the front. There's some models that have a molding that hides the screws, but the screws are still in the front. You just pop them off, and you can access those screws. And you have screws on both sides that hold that control panel together. And then there's the Whirlpool washer with the screws in the back, and they're located right here. There's one on each side. Once those are removed, you can flip the control panel up. You can see this little plastic piece right here in the corner works as a hinge. There's 2 of them, and so that you can flip that up. And then we're going to use a regular screwdriver and pull this towards you, push that towards the back there, and it'll pop this back panel off. I'm going to do that in both places. And once we have it in both places, we can run that wiring harness through here, and we can test our motor. We're going to plug it back in. Do not plug in your machine until you're away from here. You know, don't have your machine plugged in before you plug it into your motor. And once this video is actually a video of a transmission. I put a different transmission on it, so use one. You can tell it's older, but it's a working transmission. I put it on this motor, and we can hear what a transmission that's not broken sounds like. See, it has a very smooth sound to it. And that's the kind of sound that you should be having with your transmission. So let's say you verify, you still can't tell. Is it the transmission or is it something else? You might think there's the coupling in there. Well, we can take a look at the coupling. And how we do that is there are two brackets that hold your motor, connect your motor to your transmission. And same concept as the pump. These brackets are the same. The only difference is they're a little bit stronger, and they have two screws here that come together. So once those two are removed, then you can pop off those brackets, and then once you get to those brackets off, we have you can see the motor coupling right here. And this motor coupling is one of the weakest links in this machine. I've received washers before that had broken motor couplings. I paid like $10 for the washer, and come to find out it was the motor coupling. Cost me like $5 to $10 to replace the coupling, and then yeah, that was all that was wrong with it. So when you're taking this apart, you can see there's a plastic piece on the transmission, on the motor, and then there's a soft piece that that lines up the holes so they connect together. So sometimes this is broken and it can make a horrible noise too. If it is, you just replace that, and you can try your test all over again. To put the motor back on, we put the brackets back into place. It's good to have the motor out, and then you just stick the bracket in there and twist it to fit in that spot. And you're going to do that on the bottom and the top. And then once you have the motor in place, and this is really the hardest part, is connecting the motor to the transmission. Sometimes struggle with that, and I've been doing it for a while, just getting in the right spot. You just have to play with it, and you'll eventually get a feel for it. But once you have that, you can pop the bracket into place and then put in the two screws, and then you're set to go. And those two screws will go right here. So hopefully this video was a help. I'm going to leave other information. Come to my website, click the link in the description for more information. Have other tutorials, and yeah, anything that I'm going to watch this video, and if there's anything I left out, I will add to my post, and so you can read more about it over there. Alright, thank you for watching, and remember to come to washerdryerrepairhelp.com for any washer dryer repair questions or needs. Thank you very much. Have a good day.